Good morning to you. It's the final of the International Championship coming to you from Tianjin here in China. It's the showpiece final. I know it's early in the morning, but thanks for joining us. So much to look forward to. Let's just set the scene then. Joining us live, Zhang for the intros, of course. Who would have picked this final? It would have been a brave person to do that, but what we do have is the two best players of the tournament so far. Zhang enjoying his intro. It's a packed crowd there, as you can see. He's still filtering in, and there's his opponent. Yeah, Tom Ford, of course, who had a day off yesterday, so I'm sure he would have enjoyed that. Bit of time in the practice room, get his head round the fact that they're playing for a first prize of £175,000. Huge occasion, beautiful trophy, as you can see there. Obviously the press pack will want their pictures, and it'll be a nice moment, this, for both players. Let's just enjoy it as they come together for the handshake. Yeah, looking for both of them, their first ranking final. Yeah, so that's the prize, the International Championship trophy. It's heavy, isn't it? Referee did a good job there not to drop it. Precious piece of merchandise, just getting the last of the spectators in to take their seats. And we're almost all set then. We'll get to it later, but some of the prizes that are up on offer for winning this final are quite incredible. Who would have picked this one? Well, it matters not, because they both deserve their spots here, and it's Zhang to get the final underway. Off we go. Yeah, as I say, who would have predicted a final like this one? The spin-offs we're going to talk about as we go. There's so many of them. To say, Tom Ford overnight just wondering how well or how badly he may have slept thinking about this occasion. He would have watched, of course, that incredible match between Zhang and Ronnie O'Sullivan. Zhang winning the last 5 frames to prevail 9 frames to 6. Tom, of course, came through by winning the last 4 frames against Jordan Brown with 3 tons in a row to boot. Obviously, next to the floor cameras there and the marker, just a wee bit of movement, so everyone just settling down after the pomp and ceremony. And also settled in for this one is my pal and yours, it's Fergal O'Brien. This is going to be intriguing, Fergal.
Absolutely, Alan. Yeah, massive opportunity for both players. We didn't expect them to be in the final. They probably mightn't expect to be in the final themselves. And they did think they would be in the final. They probably presumed they would be playing somebody different, somebody higher ranked, with more experience. Somebody today is going to win their first major ranking event.
Tom Ford 1. 请大家把手机调至静音，谢谢。
It's always the case in finals. There's so much going on. As I say, with the pomp and ceremony, it'll settle down after a few shots, I'm sure. That was a nice opener for Tom, wasn't it? Where do you stand on the fact that Tom's had a day off? Is that a good thing for him?
I think it's a big advantage, just to rest. But also, as you said, it's such a big day today. He's had the chance to maybe get his mind around it, his emotions. And that big win for Zhang against Ronnie and everything that entailed, that would have, you feel, taken an effect. But also such a big final the night before, how well they've slept. Very easy. You're back in your hotel room, have your mind racing. Sometimes you can use up a lot of energy thinking about all the permutations, how great it would be to win, how devastating it could be to lose. But they'd both be glad now that the final started. This is what they've trained for, and try and get busy playing the game as well as they can.
Yeah, so first decent chance to the Englishman. Yeah, just a few mobile phones going off. It's been a common theme. He did well there to just back off. Yeah, £75,000 for the runner-up, 175,000 for the winner this evening.
7.
Of course, yesterday, last couple of days, both of them coming through means that Ding Junhui is not going to take part in the Champion of Champions next week in Bolton, unless, of course, someone withdraws from the tournament, which could happen. But anyway, one of these two will be there for sure. Of course, more pressing stuff is this match itself. The biggest match by some distance that both of them have ever played in their lives. Good start this by Tom.
Yeah, but already we've seen how good he is in amongst the balls. Great touch. Very, very comfortable playing little cannons. Good close cue ball control. His temperament's been excellent this week. In the past has been a weakness for Tom. He admitted that himself. He's certainly worked on that the last while. And as well as he's played this week, he's still being tested and challenged, as you would be getting all the way to the final. But when he's been asked the questions, he stayed calm and produced the goods.
30.
With those few nice cannons and good position of play, got himself into a beautiful opportunity.
37.
Had 3 centuries in a row towards the end of the match against Jordan Brown. Almost had 3 centuries in a row against Barry Hawkins. Finally, we're seeing Tom Ford
45.
with the excellent temperament to match his talent.
Yeah, that's a bit unfortunate if he doesn't have yellow or blue, because he played that with a bit of left-hand side, didn't he, to spin the cue ball as close as he could to blue ball colour, but it's gone wrong. Yeah, that's superb. And a little statement as well, isn't it? Not frightened to take on shots that perhaps Zhang Anda wouldn't have done. We'll never know, but that is a terrific shot.
Yeah, that shot tells a tale. How good he's feeling. Could have very easily, 50-odd points ahead, played a safety shot, put the green safe. But without being reckless, wants to play positive, try and win in one visit. Having said that, just clipped already, didn't want to. Makes the black more difficult, and also then positional play.
That's another superb pot. He does look in fantastic nick, doesn't he?
7.
The way that he finished against Jordan Brown is as good as he's ever played in any match, well, ever. That's how good it was. Conditions, I think, between the two players, just for, in my own opinion, I think they suit Tom marginally better, this table. It's the way it's playing, the size of the pockets. He's able to just glide the cue ball around. That's his nature, the way he plays. And another terrific red there. And this brown is virtual frame ball.
Yeah, the way he hits the ball gives the pocket every chance, the red every chance. Never seems to hit anything harder than he needs to. And again, his pace around the table has been excellent as well this week. In the past, has tended to rush the odd shot or two, a little bit careless. But he's definitely never played as well as this.
62.
Oh, there's a bonus. But yes, Zhang Anda did need a snooker, but that is going to stop him coming back to the table. Yeah, flicked it. I don't think it any massive difference here. Zhang perhaps would have had a chance to get back into it.
Yeah, ideally would like to keep Zhang in his chair for as long as possible. Just try and keep him a little bit more cold. I think even if Tom misses, he might come back just to try and put a few balls and settle down. Just looking at the scoreboard there.
63.
Yeah, I think there's merit in coming back. Not necessarily to win the frame, he needs 3 snookers, but just to get settled, get his arm going.
Yeah, 3-4 point snookers. If he was to get back into the frame.
8.
He'll certainly play for it. You know, if he can get this next red black, it's worth having a go. Push that red into bulk. The one by the pink there.
Yeah, that certainly represents a great opportunity. Snooker's guaranteed. And of course, you'll be able to control the red, get it up towards the bulk colours, which increases his chance of getting a free ball, which he would need.
16. 17.
Okay, just having a look there. Wants to be in the perfect position.
Yeah, so obviously try and get it close to probably brown or yellow. The red.
Zhang 24.
You just got to be careful, isn't he? Free ball would represent a decent chance for Zhang Anda. Good hit.
Yeah, that kind of shot myself always would have erred on if I was going to miss the red, even if you hit the brown. You're taking the brown out of the picture.
Yeah, we always say the start's important, but I was thinking back to the German Masters final at the beginning of this year, which of course Tom was in against Ali Carter. He led 2-0 and ended up losing 10-3. So it's not always the case. He's getting a bit of early help from the snooker gods at the moment. Of course, you want to get off to the best start possible. But it is a long match, best of 19, just to reiterate. 9 frames. A maximum of 9 frames in this first session.
Foul. Tom Ford, 4.
Yeah, there's the concession. Tom Ford, I think, will be
Frame conceded.
quite happy to accept, and he does. So we're off and running in the final of the International Championship. It's first blood to Tom Ford. He leads 1-0. Yeah, so we're off and running in the final. What was your first final, Fergal? First ranking event final?
British Open final, 1999 against Anthony Hamilton.
Yeah.
And
It's quite a famous final, wasn't it, actually? You know,
it's famous for me anyway.
no, absolutely. Famous final.
Yeah, but I can clearly remember not just the night before, but particularly that day. It seemed a very, very long day. Draining just before we even got to play, and that's what I was refereeing yesterday. Well, Tom, being a lot more relaxed, but also then today, how they're feeling. Hard to stay calm on such an exciting day.
Where was that British Open?
Plymouth.
Ah, okay, the pavilions, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it was one of those venues. I don't think I ever won a match there. You get places that you can't win.
Yeah, exactly. And then even walking into the place, you get memories, good or bad. A lot of bad memories. I remember playing in Preston, the Guildhall. It was a great venue. It just always seemed to terrible defeats.
See,
there.
that was a good one for me. So it's kind of strange, isn't it?
I remember he beat me in the black there once. I remember that clearly. But it was funny, you hadn't been there maybe in a year or a few years, and you walk back into the place, and nearly your first memory was some horrible defeat you had.
Yeah, the good old days, the halcyon days.
They were for us anyway.
Yeah, so Tom Ford, the ideal start.
请尽快就座. The second frame, Tom Ford to break.
We're just underway in frame 2 of the final of the International Championship. Tom Ford having struck first. So he's got something to protect. Or I suppose more importantly, extend. He wants to extend the lead, obviously. To say 9 frames in this opening session. So someone's going to have a lead.
A bit unfortunate there, went close to the red. But of course, in missing it, just that extra kiss, giving Tom a good chance. A bit careless there from Tom, you could see he was stretching. Certainly kind of shot it simple enough just to give that extra second or two, get yourself as comfortable as possible. And what was a decent chance for him has now become a decent chance for Zhang. That's why at the end of the last frame he played on. Obviously he was hoping to get the snookers and free ball, but more settled. So now, if and when he got a chance, he's going to be a little bit more comfortable in himself a bit more use of the table to try and take advantage of it.
Eight.
Here's the option here of leaving a high black to try and power off the cushion and go into them. We're also, of course, going up for the blue. Just important. He gets an ideal angle to be able to split them.
Nine.
Probably could have given himself a better angle than this. Just a little bit straighter than he would have liked. Harder to generate the power off the cushion to split them. Yeah, and ultimately that lack of angle that he had just meant it was always more likely that he probably wouldn't disturb them too much. Yeah, from such an easy red, probably an opportunity missed. Should have been perfect on the black or even the blue.
Zhang 16.
Yes, it wasn't a great chance. It was a wall of sea of reds, wasn't it? Like, I think a brick wall with a cue ball there. Zhang throughout the tournament, barring the first qualifying round, which was in the UK weeks ago. Zhang has been by far the better scorer. Coming into this final, actually. They both won 33 frames here this week. Zhang had a 60-plus break in 26 of them. 26 of 33 frames with 7 tons. I mean, those are proper numbers. Tom also had 7 tons. But 15 frame winning breaks from Tom, as opposed to 26 from Zhang.
He's had 20 centuries this season. His previous best, 2017-18, he'd 18, but that was over the whole season. Only in November, and he's already smashed that with 20. I think that's been the big improvement in his game this season, just scoring heavier. Always been a consistent player, strong in all departments. But now he's scoring very heavy, makes him a very dangerous player. Beautifully played.
Yeah, that is what you call the courage of your convictions, isn't it? That was aggression.
Cued beautifully. Obviously, it was dead straight. The pot was not quite a formality, but still struck it very well to get through the reds, separate them.
Yeah, and the perfect leave as well. Nice little cannon on the red. So.
Even though it's such a big day for both of them in their careers,
7.
you still feel both players are going to be positive, looking to attack, looking to win in one visit. I don't think we'd see too many scrappy frames. Tom might be a little bit more quicker, a little bit more fluent around the table. Both of them heavy scorers. Can play safety if it's required, but like to get the balls open and win in one visit.
Yeah, I know we keep talking about the potential spin-offs, but
14.
there's that many of them, don't actually know where to start. As mentioned, the Champion of Champions is up for grabs next week, but then you've got the UK Championship. Tom Ford is good to go as far as having a 16 seeding for that as we stand, as Zhang's played a poor shot. Zhang Anda would need a win in this final to secure a seeding at the UK in York. Yeah, that was as poor a positional shot as he's played all week long.
Yeah, rare sign of emotion there from Zhang. Looked away, bemused. Had quite a big margin for error. Again, the red to the middle, nearest him. The red to be in the way, so playing this red, but screwing back to the black, puts an element of safety into the shot. And another beautiful shot.
22.
Again, didn't hit that particularly hard, but you can see the backspin straight away. Get off the cushion, back, perfect position on the black. It's a very good cue action. Very straight and very repetitive.
Twenty-nine.
You would have seen as well, Tom's start, how well he's playing, how confident he is. So be determined to hit back, ideally in one visit.
Yeah, 14 years he's been a professional, Zhang Anda. And so he had to wait 14 years to get to his maiden ranking event final. And he's now appearing in his second in the space of 5 weeks. It was 5 weeks ago to the day, that final against Judd Trump and Brentwood. He led 6-2, remember. Didn't manage to get the job done, largely because of the excellence of the great Trump. But this is a nice settler. And it actually, I think, providing he goes on and wins the frame at this visit, it sets up the final nicely, the session. Both players having a good scoring chance and putting together a good contribution.
Yeah, well, ultimately, you're playing the balls and playing the game. Playing your opponent and how he plays can also dictate the rhythm, the pattern. If one player plays well, you can be caught in their slipstream and come along with them. And if they play today like they have been playing all week, the frames won't be long. We've plenty of frames, one visit. Just landed straight on the blue there. That's what he just came across to see where exactly he wants the white to be. This blue put him 67 ahead, so just one more red required. Again, judged that very well.
51.
Yeah, so this red then is frame ball. Yeah, good stuff this by Zhang Anda. I said earlier about the 9 frames in this session, of course, so scheduled to have 9. And let's hope we do. The second session gets underway at 11:30 UK time. So 5.5 hours in between the beginning of both sessions. If it got a bit sticky and a bit scrappy, then they'd maybe get pulled off a frame early. But I don't see that happening. I think the theory is they want to give players a couple of hours at least to go back to the hotel, have a shower, refresh.
Yeah, you don't want to spend that mid-session in the dressing room or at the venue.
Yeah, unexpected miss. And good to see Tom coming back. No harm in that.
That happens an awful lot when a player has the frame one, or what he thinks is the frame one. Just lose that little bit of concentration. Miss a red. The last red, if Zhang had an easy felt sure he would have potted it. But if you can't pot this red, just get this frame done. Talked about his cue action earlier, but that kind of shot where you have to run through puts a very, very high percentage.
Yeah, it sure does. The green goes astray. This time Tom Ford, I feel, will stay in his chair. Indeed he does. So, both players have got off to a pretty good start in this final, which I think augurs well for the rest of it. It's one frame all. Yeah, so one frame apiece. Both players having good scoring opportunities.
And Alan, then when and where was your first final?
Oh,
it's not all about me.
Ranking final. I'm pretty sure it was in Bangkok. It was and it was the week of my 21st birthday, which I didn't really bother about birthdays because my birthday January, and there was always a tournament. Seemed to be the Masters for a number of and whatever else. And it was out there.
And who did you play?
I played Steve Davis.
Was he any good?
No, he was rubbish. Do you know what? And I'll be honest about them. He beat me 9-3, and I played awesome. I played amazing. That's true. I played amazing.
You did well again, 3.
I think I was 3-1 down at the interval. The frame that I won, I had a nice ton, and I never missed a shot. I played every shot as good as I could, and he was unbelievably good. He really was. But yeah, I enjoyed it, but I got hammered. Yeah, the great Steve Davis. I thought that was a cool one to play in your first final with, Steve Davis, the great man, of course.
Yeah, it was always great to play him whenever you did.
It was an occasion. It was a real occasion, wasn't it?
I think particularly as we were being a bit younger, child of the 80s.
Yeah.
When he dominated.
Well, I started playing in a club called the Steve Davis Snooker Club, so, go figure. Yeah. If you're listening, Steve, which he probably isn't, but you never know. If you're listening,
he might be hungover from some continent DJ he was at.
Yeah, hope you're well, big fella. I'll catch up with you soon. So, welcome back. It's frame 3 underway. Zhang breaking off. It's been a good start, this final. 2 good scoring visits, one from either player. kind of gets the cobwebs off, doesn't it? You know, obviously Tom had a day off yesterday. They've been thinking about it. How's it going to go? How am I going to feel? Well, now we know, or now he knows, more importantly. And now we can, I think, just settle into what's going to be a terrific snooker match.
I always found the longer matches, you're more likely to score predict. Try and work out all the possible permutations. Whereas ideally you have to break it down. It's not a best of 19. It's not even one frame at a time. Just try and break it down. They shot in front of you. Very easy to say. And there's such a lot at stake.
Yeah, it's another one of those shots that you flagged, Fergal.
Yeah, just such a smooth delivery of the cue. Seems like the white ball just gets in the way. Such an asset to have, that
8,
great cue action. You can back yourself, play with confidence.
9,
It's interesting, actually, Tom, after his match, as well as he played, he was talking about joking, of course, going to spec savers, because he said for anything over 6 foot, he was struggling a bit with seeing the contact point. I certainly didn't feel his long game was that poor. Might be
16,
something to look out for over the course of the day. The red at the bottom of the pack is ideal. You can just get more or less where the white ball is now. Then you're guaranteed potting the red and disturbing other reds. Be able to get on the black. This definitely seems to be the pattern of the modern break building. Less and less players seem to be going in
24,
hard off the black or the blue. Tend to be using the reds to do the damage. Probably more control doing it that way.
He gets so much work on the cue ball for a guy who doesn't have a flashy cue action. He strikes it that sweetly, and that's the secret. He's got a nice long backswing as well, so that's partly, but it's a bit like shooting a bow and arrow. Playing a snooker shot, the longer it is, the smoother it is, the more the cue ball is going to go in a straight line on the bed of the cloth as well. No bouncing around. We've seen slow-mos down the years where it bounces, doesn't it? But the sweeter you hit it, the more action you get. He really gets terrific purchase on the ball, the Zhang.
32,
Thought it was very interesting the other day in his interview after one of his matches. He said since losing that final at the English Open, that he's really enjoying his snooker, really enjoying playing. That's a great attitude to have. Be very easy
33,
after such a disappointing result. To went into a shell a little piece or lacked confidence, but if anything, he's got better because of it. And again, he was 7-3 up, but he didn't do a lot wrong, to be fair. It was more jumps, Judd's brilliance rather than his poor play. Just going from strength to strength. Put himself back in a final, back with a chance to win a major tournament.
Forty-one, 48.
Nicely played. Red into the middle. Again, similar to earlier, that red at the bottom of the pack. If he could get on that low again, that's another shot to be able to pot, screw right from the reds.
Yeah, going along nicely. Just thinking, actually, with Zhang and, of course, is there an advantage being at home, so to speak? I think there is, you know. I think you just feel comfortable. You know, you think about where did Ding win his first tournament? Beijing. James Watton won a couple of times in Thailand. You know, I think it is something. I think, you know, you just feel comfortable.
Of course, then you're going to get the majority of the support. And it looks like you can play the red into the middle pocket and screw off the other two. Back for the black. Of course, he's taken blacks so far. Nicely played, maintained position on the black. I just feel he's one good pot and cannon away. Again, the two reds to the right of that group of six. If you just get a cannon on either one of those, you leave a red to the left corner. Yeah, played it perfect. And now, 8 reds, 8 blacks. It seems just as easy to stay on the black. And of course, once he's got the frame won, then he can all this focus on a potential 147. Maybe a little bit shorter pace. As a result, then, might just make sure of it. Can he get back for off the cushion for the black? He can, so in 73, Tom already requires snookers. He'd certainly be thinking of the 147 now. Obviously, that red closest to the blue looks the most obvious obstacle.
Yeah, now that the frame's won, it's all systems go for the attempt of the maximum. They just landed as awkwardly as he could have done on this one. And of course, we've had one maximum, albeit it was in the qualifying round in this tournament by Ryan Day against Mike Nutcherett. Oh, that's a fabulous shot. And now it looks a really good chance.
Yeah, played that very well, considering he had to play with a bit of pace to bounce it off the cushion.
Yeah, see, there's only been 2 this season. There's Ryan Day and Sean O'Sullivan had one in the European Masters. This is a proper chance, very good chance. Yeah, that red up adjacent to the blue is not a huge problem, actually. It's quite nice where it is. Almost use the blue as a guide. Get high on that red.
He has made a 147 before as a pro. But again, there's totally different circumstances. A lot more pressure.
97.
And as always, still looks very calm and collected.
Yeah, good applause, and why not for the century now. Where is the cue ball? Has he got it high enough? Yes, he has. Getting very tense in the arena now, just looking for the perfect angle to get up for that red, and that is ideal. That's ideal.
105.
Yeah, you feel anywhere up the left-hand side. High, he's big margin for error. Able to pot the red and come naturally back down towards the black. I think he's just having a look there to see the red passes the yellow into the opposite corner.
Is it the gap between red and blue off one cushion? Oh, he's playing for the red to the far corner. Okay, he's on it with the angle that you automatically get back down for black, but this isn't a sitter. Certainly under the pressure. See, the good news is he's automatically, one would think, going to be on the black. Huge moments.
Just about. And a nice angle on the black. With the stun up for the yellow. Could do know people shouting out in the crowd. But this is as good a chance as you could possibly hope for.
Yeah, not just that. The pink as well is absolutely I mean, the brown's even better than being on its spot where it is. This is as good a chance as you would get on the colours, isn't it, Fergal? But it's never going to be easy because the tension is unbearable. But the way that they lie, it's absolutely perfect. Come on now, just one good piece of cueing here. And back anywhere straight in the green. It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, where the brown is, just any sort of a pot. Leave an angle on the brown, be able to come off the cushion down for the blue. And as you said, even if the pink is in a better position than it's on its spot, even if you landed straight on the blue, would be no problem at all.
Got to run. Got to run. Oh, it's just gone half awkward, hasn't it?
Yeah, it didn't cue that as well as some of the other shots. Obviously feeling it. Just a little bit tense. Again, there's a big margin for error here. Doesn't have to be too precise, just make sure you pot the blue. You're going to have some sort of a shot in the pink. But the pressure is building.
He's got it now. just run a fraction more. He's absolutely perfect, Zhang Anda. Are they about to witness the 192nd maximum in professional snooker, and the third of this season? In goes the pink, no problem. And he's absolutely plumb on the black. What a moment. Take a bow, Zhang Anda, a magnificent 147 maximum break. Wow, and a handshake by Tom Ford, and why not? He looks cool as a cucumber, and that's as much emotion as you ever see from Zhang Anda. No wonder the crowd are on their feet and they're cheering. Fergal, Brian, what a moment.
Fantastic. Yeah, fair play to him. Keep so calm. That atmosphere.
Yeah, let's have a breather. Magnificent maximum. We'll be back in a minute.
Frame 4, Tom Ford to break.
Welcome back to Tianjin. We have just witnessed one of the moments of the season for sure. Zhang Anda, the hits just keep on coming, don't they? A maximum last year, last season, his maiden maximum, and he's just produced another, but not just another, in the final of the International Championship. Wow, what a maximum that was, Fergal. It's as good as it gets, wasn't it? And you fancied it from a long way out.
Yeah. Very exciting, but yep, I don't think we were surprised by it. Obviously, the last red just about managed to find the pocket. I played a great shot from blue to pink to leave the pink more or less perfect. I said he looked calm, he looked assured. Again, in that environment, that pressure, it's a fantastic achievement.
Yeah, what a moment to enjoy for all of us, and I'm sure all of you watching at home. Incidentally, just, of course, I know it's early in Europe and in the UK, just shy of 7 AM in the UK. But if anyone is watching, and indeed around the world, drop us a quick line and let us know where you're watching from, any questions you have, about this tournament or snooker in general. Thanks for your company as ever, for enjoying, and why wouldn't you be enjoying it? What a start it's been to this final. Yeah, do let us know. I'm at AlanMac1990 on X. Well, he played the thin red, didn't he? Roundabout way.
After 147 like that, all the excitement for the players and crowd can take a few minutes for just to settle back down. Just needs to regain his composure and get back into that lovely rhythm he's had. Wouldn't be the first player ever to make a 147 and lose the next frame or frames after it. Can be a bit of a distraction. But doesn't seem the kind of guy that lets too much affect him. Again, just a sign of his confidence, in not just in his game, but in himself.
The other question I would like answered, how do you get to this guy? How do you get at him? How do you knock him off kilter? Because he doesn't do it, does he? He just plays his own game. What a fantastic temperament he's got.
It's disheartening if you're playing him. You're not seeing any weakness from him. His body language is very good. Looks very composed. But also when you actually just see him, how well he's cueing.
Yeah, this, of course, the frame before the first mid-session. Yeah, for once, loses the cue ball. The pink's not all that easy to get nice on the next red. Never easy, these shots, half blind. Good pot. Yeah, we're talking about temperament, attitude, all that, knocking him off kilter. Any player, you used the word disheartening, Fergal, I think, correctly. When you see him run out of position in the chair, you think, oh, wait a minute, I might be, oh, no, and he goes again. And it's quite, as you say, disheartening. There's Tom there, a bystander in this match at the moment. You're going to miss the odd one, of course you are. But no damage.
It's always going to be difficult to make a frame-winning break with the black tied up. Cut that a lot thicker than he would have liked, but seems fortunate enough that Brown has blocked it. That makes the safety shot for Zhang a little bit more difficult as well, of course. That red in bulk. Yeah, the red and bulk just dictated his shot selection there. Tom could potentially play off the red nearest. Leave the white back down from where it was just a second ago. Yeah, as I said, that's it's just gone down to have a look, make sure he finds the exact point to leave it.
Yeah, I'm not saying Tom would have been in this camp, but the second semi-final yesterday, I think a lot of people, not so much players, because players are a bit different, a lot of people would have thought that Tom would be thinking, oh, wouldn't it be good if Zhang Anda comes through and I don't have to play Ronnie in a final? But it's not like that, Fergal, isn't it? It really isn't from a player's point of view.
Yeah, your initial assessment will be that you probably would play Ronnie, be favoured to win. But then when you actually just break it down and see what they're actually doing and forget the names, Zhang is actually playing better than Ronnie. Zhang posing more of a threat this week than Ronnie would have.
Yeah, now I'm actually thinking about it, in some ways it probably would have been easier to play Ronnie, not standard-wise because we know what he's capable of, but just mentally. You know, how do you get to Zhang Anda? You can't get at them, it seems. Yes, he'll miss shots, he'll miss everyone does. But at least with Ronnie, you kind of know what's going to happen. He's going to get brilliance at times and the odd mistake, and it's fast-flowing. Zhang's a still unknown quantity at this level.
Absolutely. But also, he would have been the clear underdog if he'd played Ronnie. I think on ranking and experience, you would have had to make him favourite. And again, I'm sure Tom thought if he was ever going to make another final, that he'd be an underdog. I'd have expected to be favourite. But I'm trying to forget that and just look at the hard task ahead of him. He's playing an opponent, playing very well. No obvious weakness. Looks composed.
Yeah, as I say, I'm not suggesting for a second that Tom's thinking, oh, this is a good result for me, Zhang beating Ronnie. Nothing like that at all. Because this business is so tough, isn't it, at the top? We're seeing it more and more. To predict a quarter-final lineup, impossible, isn't it?
Yeah, good luck with that.
Yeah. So, another decent chance this for Zhang. He seems to have gotten the maximum out of his system quickly, which is good. Of course, if you're just joining us, he had a 147 maximum in the last frame. A lot of people just be waking up for the Sunday morning breakfast. Stay with us and enjoy what's going to be a pulsating opening session. Just to say again, Zhang Anda had a maximum in the third frame to light up this final.
Yeah, it's just coming down there to have a look that if he puts one of the reds to the right corner, where exactly does he need to be able to pot the black? Again, if he's not on a red, it's for once a very careless mistake. Yeah. Sarcastic tap on the table there from Selfin. Going to be frustrated there. Was in great position. Big margin for error to be on one of those reds to the right corner. It's certainly a let off for Tom.
Yeah, terrific pot, wasn't it? Well picked out. Be disappointed with the leave. The green's no good in terms of being aggressive. But he got to hang tough here, Tom Ford. This is a moment of the match. He got to hang tough, and that's not good enough. That's not good enough, isn't it? You know, he's got to do better than that. Maybe just park the cue ball in the baulk cushion, because Zhang at the moment does not look like missing.
Yeah, I thought playing off the yellow. I said get a good white, tighten the cushion. Just wasn't worth the gamble. Because if you don't get the snooker, Zhang's got his hand on the table. There's pressure on this, but this long straight red seems to just play to his strengths.
I just think you have to be uncompromising, don't you?
Absolutely.
Constantly. I know this red isn't in yet, far from it. It's a very difficult shot. But hand on the bed, we know what usually happens. Oh, not this time. So Tom Ford has now earned himself a very good chance. He's got to take this one, you'd think.
Yeah, that long red was far from easy, but he's playing so well and cueing so well. We just expected he'd pot it. But again, there was pressure on it because he knew if he missed it, it could well be his last shot in this frame.
Yeah, you've got to hang tough here, Tom. He's smiling, sarcastically laughing about the cough that went on and just on delivery. He's got to block that out. You've got to keep strong here for the next 6 or 7 minutes.
Yeah, it feels a long time ago we won that first frame.
Yeah, I said about Zhang fantastic temperament, and he's hard to knock off kilter. But I do believe this. There's never been a player born, if you don't lean, if you lean hard enough on them, they will topple over. Believe it. But what you have got to do, obviously, to do that, is produce some quality yourself. And this is where Tom has got to stay strong.
Yeah, you just feel both players are going to have to play well to not just compete, then go on to win. It's not a day or a match where you try and be a bit too clever and try and trick your opponent. You're just going to have to create your chances and then capitalise on them. Go out and win it.
He's got to get back in tight position quickly. He's teetering a wee bit here. I think I just feel something in the air. Just losing his cue ball ahead. Got to rectify it right here. Yeah, that's lovely. Well played.
28.
All right, I know he was still in good position, but it's that thing, as I said a few minutes ago, got to batten down the hatches here and make this one count.
Yeah, I'm not sure if the red passes the black.
35.
If it does, then it's a great chance here for Tom. You just feel if the red passes the black, he'll win the frame. But apart from the form, both players have been in all week. I think the table, very responsive cloth. And then we feel the pockets are on the generous side. It just lends itself to frames being won in one visits or certainly big breaks. And you feel once one player's scoring heavy, making big breaks, the other one will just follow on behind. But been very entertaining so far. And we could see that red does pass the black.
50.
Yeah, the good news was it was a natural, wasn't it? So this is quite a straightforward cannon. I think normally you just punch the red on and off the cushion, just a fraction. And he only needs the red. Yeah, well played. So 32 the good. And that should secure what's been an epic first 4 frames of this final.
Yeah, and often finals that on paper mightn't look to be great or classics can be just that. We get so used to seeing the Ronnies, Trumps and Selbys in finals. You just tend to presume if they're not in it, it won't be any good. Couldn't be further from the truth. These have been the 2 best players all week.
Yeah, they certainly have, and they're producing the goods, aren't they? In more ways than one. You think Zhang has already accounted in this tournament for Mark Williams, Ding Junhui and Ronnie O'Sullivan. Tom Ford, a tough draw as well. Jordan Brown a couple of days ago. Excuse me, Barry Hawkins, Mark Selby, Marco Fu. Some list. And this final now is set up quite perfectly. Tom Ford, excellent, responds to the magnificent maximum by Zhang Anda. And they go to the first interval. Both feeling pretty good, you would imagine. Long, long way to go. But they go to the first interval, 2 frames all. Ooh, yeah, nice to get a breather after that first 4 frames. Thank you for a lot of your response on X. Lots of people around the world actually just telling us how much they're enjoying this final. So from myself and Fergal, thank you. Michelle M, not sure where you're watching it, but worth getting up early this morning, certainly was. Sam Hayden saying what a moment. He's in Cambridgeshire. Woke up and the first thing he's in was a maximum. Well done, Sam. Billy Fatkin Jr. in Ontario, in Canada. What a 147. He's predicting a 10-8 win for Tom Ford. Ryan Rysdale saying that was one of the best maximum we've seen. Totally agree with that. He said he was sleepy when he woke up. But he's wide awake now, watching from a drizzly Dawlish in Devon. What's Dawlish? Yeah, so thank you, Ryan. Someone else saying what a fantastic maximum. Well worth getting up for. Paul Thompson out in Dubai, sunning himself on a beach somewhere, no doubt, on this beautiful Sunday morning. Says he can't believe we saw a maximum. He's enjoying it, as is Dave Dunn in Wolverhampton. And Joe saying a great 147. Also David saying look at both of these guys. He can't really pick a winner. He's like myself and Fergal. The sports boy out there in Bangkok in Thailand, where myself and Fergal have been many times. He says he's enjoying the coverage. Thank you, sports boy, for your company. Brian McGovern saying good morning and greetings from County Meath over there in Ireland. And Cameron High saying really enjoying the final between Ford and Zhang, and he believes it's going to be a close match. Well, I couldn't agree more. So thanks for a lot of your messages. Of course, we're in the mid-session. And nice to have a breather, Fergal, isn't it, after the excitement?
Yeah, not just for us, but also the players. Tom would be relieved to win that frame. Just didn't want to be going 3-1 behind and just settle down. And I said, at 147, it can be a distraction. It can change the whole environment in the place, the whole feeling. But again, Tom needed to win that frame. And they've both got the interval to calm down. Probably more important for Zhang, to be fair.
I'm going to be nasty and I'm going to put you on the spot. Who's going to win?
I'll say Zhang.
Okay, yeah. Interesting.
Close. I'm actually interested tonight. So far what we've seen, they've been very positive and fluent. I'm just wondering tonight, when it gets to the death, if it goes 8-9, will they still be as fluent and as positive?
Yeah.
Or will finally the occasion get to them? Because it doesn't look like, okay, they've been in finals before, but this is fantastic.
Welcome back. There's the scene in the People's Stadium here in Tianjin. And what a first session of the final it's been, as you can see there, 2-2. But there's something very, very special happened, and let's have a look back at it. Something very special indeed. As you can see there, 4 reds left, and on that magic word, the maximum. So if you haven't watched it before, or indeed if you have, let's sit back and enjoy the last 4 reds and blacks, and the colours by Zhang are worth another look. Fergal, such a fantastic thing to happen in a final.
Absolutely, we're coming in the tail end of it, but it was certainly, well, people will be watching it again, looking back on it, but you can learn a lot from it. How he compiled the break, a couple of key shots, got himself into perfect position on the red, potted it, disturbed a couple more on the pack, got them open, and then once he had them open, his cue ball control generally was excellent. Obviously, 1 or 2 scary moments, certainly the last red, just about slid in off the jaws, and then played an excellent blue, just to be perfect on the pink. He did have a big margin of error from blue to pink. He was always going to have some shot on the pink, but it makes such a big difference when he was perfect And in theory, it was easy pink, easy black. Obviously, the circumstances made it very difficult, but brilliant.
Yeah, I think you made a good point about shot selection. I loved this shot here. He played this black, basically guaranteeing himself a shot at the last red in position on the black. Yes, the pot wasn't easy, but he could have played more precise and it was a risk, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think originally we thought he might play up towards the yellow. Even if he shorted the yellow, you can see there he could have clipped the red into the middle and naturally been on the black, but this was probably a more sensible shot. Make sure you give yourself a shot. And also, you can see he was quite close to the red. But then this is the one would have liked to be a little bit straighter. There's always a tendency playing this kind of shot maybe to get anxious and have a little look and see where the white's going, where will he be on the black. And again, for a split second, we thought it might just stay out. But certainly, as we talked about, hitting at a pocket weight, gave it every chance. Any harder than this red would not have went in. And then also the bonus of just had that angle on the black as well. But even watching it again here, you still think it might stay out.
Yeah, I must confess, I thought it wasn't going to drop. You see it here.
Actually caught a decent bit of the jaw, to be fair.
Yeah.
It didn't really slide in, caught a bit of it, but I said new cloth, and maybe they've been a bit more on the generous side, but that takes nothing away from a fantastic achievement.
Yeah, the first Asian player to have a maximum was the great James Watana back in 1991.
In some ways, where the last red was, it kind of stops you from getting too far ahead of yourself, because it's not a brilliant chance until you sort out that red, but it's now plumb on the yellow where the pressure really, really hits. I think on the brown, it just got a little bit tight. It was the first signs. Again, if you're being fussy, you could say he could have come back a little bit more and been straight on the green, but I think the brown was certainly the first sign. That's a little bit of tension in his arm.
Yeah, just looking at him there, you wouldn't think he was on a maximum, would you? You think he'd just clearing up the colours with 80 in front. A lot of players get a wee bit rosy around the cheeks and that sort of stuff, which myself included, if I was under a bit of pressure, but you wouldn't know.
Yeah, he gave every shot due care and attention, but I don't think he overplayed it. It's certainly a danger of trying to be too careful, too precise. You could tell there as he stayed down, he knew just fractionally underhit it. But this was a brilliant shot here. Could have been tempted to play it a bit softer, maybe leave the pink into the middle. There's every danger you could have ended up nearly betwixt and between the middle and the corner, but just committed to playing a precise shot.
I mean, the other thing, how well did he play this? You could play this 100 times and not play it this well.
Particularly under the pressure, could easily get away from you. It had been a nice feeling there as he watched the white roll up and then all of a sudden glance perfect, and then you realise, oh, yeah, fancy this. And then just to roll through naturally for the black. Under this pressure, you want them as easy as possible. And you just felt even with the pressure involved, the black was that nice. He was never going to miss it.
No, he sure wasn't. What a moment. Zhang and 147, the second of his career. Tom Ford's had 5, actually. But in goes the black, and what an occasion for the crowd here in Tianjin. They've been treated to top quality finals so far, and that was the icing on the cake. Yeah, give you a few permutations for those of you in Discovery Plus. Some of the spin-offs that's going to be happening for the winner of this event. Of course, whoever does win it is going to be in all of the Players Series events for the just post-Christmas, post-New Year. So that's one of them. Of course, you got the Champion of Champions next week, and then looking ahead, also got the UK Championship, which Tom Ford is already going to be seeded for that, but Zhang needs to win to have a UK seeding. Then there's the Masters. Tom Ford at the moment is in 15th place, 18,500 points ahead of the bubble. So he's looking good for a place in the Masters as Tom. Again, Zhang would need to win this final, and if he does, he would go to 13th for a spot at Alexandra Palace in early New Year.
Also, I think if Tom wins, goes up to number 10, and then being in those series events, there's every chance come the Crucible he'll be top 16.
Yeah, it would be. That would not secure a place in the 16 for the Crucible. Again, just on that ranking position, Zhang Anda at the moment is 22nd in the rankings. With a win, he would go to 15. So in some ways, actually looking at it, there's more at stake for Zhang Anda in this, in terms of getting in the top 16. Because it's so difficult these days, where you've got to go deep or win tournaments now to get in the top 16. If you nearly get there, you could fall away again, couldn't you, with some poor results? I mean, that's all conjecture. You just never know what's around the corner, as we've seen with Zhang Anda.
Yeah, and there's a big difference in winning and runner-up in the prize money. Obviously, if you're runner-up 75,000, it's a lot, but that extra 100,000 can make a massive difference.
Yeah, it's about 2.5, 3 years of security almost, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Not only being on the tour, but going out to China, you can maybe upgrade to business class, all those things, and it's all part of it, isn't it?
Also, when you think that if Zhang obviously lost in the final of the English Open, if he had won it, he'd got 80,000. It's more than double in this tournament if he wins it. So it's the equivalent of winning 2 of those home nations events and ranking points and prize money.
Welcome back to Tianjin, and what a morning it's been for you in Europe. The first session has been superb so far, maximum included, 2-all at the first interval. You can see the players just coming back in now. And just to let you know, 5 frames more in this session. There'll be 9 in total before they come back at 11:30 UK time, for what promises to be an enthralling evening session.
保持安静，谢谢大家。
Yeah, so time to enjoy the second half of this opening session. Beautifully poised, of course, at 2 frames all. Frame 3, Zhang Anda produced maximum magic. It really was something as well. One of the best maximums I think I've ever seen, cue ball wise. You just fancied him to get it from 6 or 7 reds out. Playing beautifully, but Tom Ford held firm in that last frame before the interval. Made a nice contribution to get it one, and so we're all set up for what is going to be an interesting run to the halfway point in this final. As I say, just to say again, 9 frames to be played in the first session.
请再次检查手机，调成静音，谢谢。
See, there's a choice of reds to hit, but just looking at the danger of not just hitting a red, avoiding other reds. Has the possibility, if he wanted to, coming off a side cushion and line into the pack or the red, closest to the right. Yeah, that was always the danger, that red. Played it well enough. Just got a bit of a glance. Still fortunate with that glance to land so close to the cushion. I think Tom will probably play just a dump shot here and just try and leave the white on the black cushion. Of course, could go for the pot on the red, but difficult pot. And what colour would he have after? Okay, took a little bit of a gamble there. But that red, I talked about that he should have played off. Yeah, it was always unlikely that he'd cover this red, put a lot of pressure on the safety shot. Yeah, just a bit of a risk he didn't have to take. Pot's a very high percentage of this kind of shot. Yeah, it's another good pot from Zhang, but he shouldn't have been able to have a pot to go at. Tom should have just played the dumb shot. Wasn't the time to play a telling safety. And of course, with the safety shot he played, also disturbed the pack a little piece.
Six.
Some bit of luck.
Yeah, wow. You think you've seen it all and then you see that shot. Gee whiz.
Yeah, now we've seen where the whites landed. Of course, we've just seen the red eventually drop in. Wasn't just the fluke he's got. Look what the other reds are. Again, little things like that just can add to your belief that it's going to be your day, that your time has come.
11.
Because the red he played ended up fluking. Cued it quite badly. It was the first one he felt like McHugh and he lost a bit of control. We won't care about that now.
12.
Another red went in. It just gets back to work. I'd say Tom's face would have been a picture there, though, Alan.
Yeah, actually. Excuse me, I'm actually quite thankful we didn't get to see it, actually. Yeah, that was an early
15.
sort of Christmas gift, wasn't it, for Zhang and born on Christmas Day, actually. Yeah, so maybe trying to release the pink, not off that shot.
16.
It's interesting, a lot of players would play that, wouldn't they? You know, pink's tied up, black's no good. If you're going to win the frame at this visit, a lot easier with getting the pink into open play. Might do it off this next shot.
Yeah, might be able to give himself a little bit more of an angle. Generate more pace going into the pink.
22.
Don't want to play it with too much pace. Right half of the pink as we see it, you would imagine. Just caress it into open play. Took a risk playing it at that pace, and that's what happens. I'm not saying it, I'm not trying to be clever, nothing like that, but he wasn't in control of the shot, was he?
Yeah, you could say it's unlucky, but you just felt he was maybe giving bad luck a chance without being too harsh on him.
Yeah, for whatever reason there, we got to see halfway through the maximum. But either way, yes, that's a bit of a blow. Zhang, and I guess the snooker gods at work.
It's fine margins, of course. If that red just rattles and stays out, everything's ideal. But even watching it, you were just a little bit apprehensive. You felt it could go wrong.
Yeah, say the snooker gods, of course, he starts off with a fluke and then they decide, nah, take away from you. It's not the case, but it feels like it sometimes.
Also, our experience with playing, we probably could see that danger of a red going in. It's happened as many times. I'm just taking time out to have a look at the table, try and solve the puzzle. What's the best way of going about it? And it's definitely been a feature of his game this week. Nearly at the start, taking the time out. Of course, once he gets up and running during the break, very fluent.
7.
There's definitely an extra level of composure this week that maybe has been lacking in previous years.
I must confess, I'm a wee bit mystified as to what he played there. He took his time, and in the end he's given himself something of a problem. Is he going to risk the plain ball cannon on the black to try and push it towards right corner? Yeah. Now is he on it? No, he's not.
8.
He's got himself in a bit of a kerfuffle a couple of shots ago.
Yellow. Trump 8.
Excellent safety shot there. Before he played the shot, he went over to that very position. Pinpointed that as the position that put Zhang in the most difficulty. Then executed it very well. I think beforehand we probably might have said Zhang might have the advantage in the tactical side of the game. That's not to say Tom is not very good at it, but just felt it suits Zhang slightly a little bit more. You probably would have given Tom the advantage in break building, but again, that would be very slight, particularly when we've seen what Zhang produced in frame 3. Considering how well they've played the first 4 frames, you'd slightly call this a scrappy frame. It was a very good pot. It was difficult and brave. If he missed it, he was more or less hanging the game. Again, just a sign of his confidence. That's actually twice today he's missed reds, just when he's been, not missed balls, when he's been slightly stretching.
Yeah, I honestly think the only reason he's missed it is because he's thinking about springing the black into the open. He didn't have to. I know that he would have needed the black in the open to, or the other red in the open, to win the frame at that visit, but that would have kept for a few shots at least, I thought.
Yeah, exactly. Keep it simple. Get a lead, get in control, and then worry about it when you have to.
Yeah, by all means play the cannon on the black, but it's just a mindset, isn't it? The pot first. That's the, you live by rules, and I know it's not just as easy as, you know, A, B, C, D and all that. It's not just that easy, but that's the mindset you have to have. I'm going to commit to playing the black, but what I do first is I pot it. I pot the red.
Yeah, the only way you could miss that pink was if you tried to get preoccupied with the black. There was just no need for it. At that time, you felt sure you could get in a better position.
Yeah, of course, so I'm saying pot the red, of course, pink. Same thing, effectively. Just get the pot. Be in control. So, an unforced error and quite a bad one.
Zhang having that 15-point lead. Of course, he doesn't need that red that's close to the black. So it'll take a little bit of work, but after to find it has a good chance. The last camera angle was a perfect example of how straight everything is. From his cue to his elbow behind. Textbook.
Yeah, so this next red would all but secure the frame. But he will want a high value colour, obviously, in addition to it. Just to get that extra leeway.
27.
Yeah, 36 ahead. Obviously, Tom needs a snooker. He's got the option of trying to pot the pink to make it a bigger lead. But however, if he was to miss the pink, it's only one snooker. A lot of merit in putting a colour safe. Some insurance. We glance at the pink and get the white down the table.
Yeah, I do think sometimes though you can overthink. I just think in or over the middle pocket. Just keep it simple. If it goes in, fine. If it doesn't, fine. You know, black and white, so to speak. You know, just dead weight. You're not doing any damage whatsoever, regardless of the way the shot finishes. I think sometimes you try to reinvent the wheel with shots like that.
Zhang, 28.
Yeah, he wasn't able to glance the pink, put it on the side cushion and get a snooker. So decided to try and get a snooker, but
Foul.
Yeah, Tom's had enough. The concession comes, of course, with a 7-point foul on the black. And Zhang Anda will gratefully accept. So he's back in front again. He led 2-1. He's back in front again, leading the final 3-2. Yeah, talking about the shots there, Fergal, with you can sometimes overthink. I think me and you were guilty of that a few times.
I know, I definitely was. My God.
No, but you do. Sometimes you look for something that doesn't really, you know. I just think they're pot the pink. If it goes in, fine. If it doesn't, fine.
But would you not rather have another colour safe? Because again, if you miss the pink, there's only 36 in it. He only needs one. Or
I wouldn't in that instance, because a colour near a cushion is easy to get a snooker behind. You know, I just think, you know, but there's so many different.
Yeah.
You know, if you push the brown to the side cushion, it's a really good ball to get in behind, isn't it? No?
Yeah, yeah, no, it is all right. But I think if I'm 36 ahead and I've got the brown safe, I prefer that than 36 ahead and no colour safe. It's different if the pink was easy, but then you're definitely going to pot the pink. You're 42 ahead. That's the extra insurance. But
it's a debate. Yeah. This is what we love. This is what we do.
Yeah.
We have a debate about silly things like should there be this shot or that shot.
These are the small margins that we want to endlessly debate.
Yeah.
That decision-making process, and look, if we can't decide here.
Yeah, I think the main thing with that shot that Zhang had, play a shot where you can't do yourself any harm, basically. You know, sometimes.
Yeah. But that's saying if we're finding it hard to decide here in the commentary box, you can see how difficult it can be to decide out there in the pressure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think he was looking for a snooker and getting a colour safe, and he couldn't get both.
Welcome back. We're deep into this first session now of the final of the International Championship. Zhang Anda leading 3 frames to 2, maximum and all. If you're just joining us, just waking up and having a nice leisurely breakfast, that's the news. Zhang Anda, as you can see, 3-2 in front. What you don't see is that you had a 147 maximum in frame 3. Yeah, it's only what the third this season, third maximum. There was that thing a few seasons ago, Fergal, wasn't there, where as Tom Ford leaves, another gift, where was it 20 maximums for £1 million share?
Yeah, Barry Hearney knew what he was doing. There was never going to be 20.
Yeah.
I think I'd rather have more money for the 147 prize as you're doing it. It sounded great, but in reality, I didn't think it was going to happen. Even with the standard of the players and standard of break building.
Four. Five.
The red at the bottom of the pack to the right. If you get low on that again, you'll be able to pot that and disturb the pack again. It's a shot he's played a lot. Not just today, but during the week. Yeah, it looks to have enough of an angle that he can, like a power stun into the pack and just come back for the black. Might even develop the pink into play if he catches the pack enough. I decided just to roll through, but got a little bit stuck hitting the other red.
Zhang 13.
That's 2 shots today now with the rest. Zhang has missed. Didn't seem to cue them particularly well. Maybe that's a potential weakness he has that we haven't noticed before. We're trying hard to try and find any weakness with him. Yeah, probably a little bit fortunate that in missing it, he didn't leave Tom a pot. Tom was desperate to try and get the white there, right behind the yellow, just to block the path off.
Yeah, nice gadget that, just confirming that you can't see a red full ball. Easy escape, mind you. Always potential for a re-rack with a black over the corner. Yeah, now is he going to play the conventional safety shot? This is quite dangerous. He's going to bound to promote a few reds, you would think. So he needs cover.
Again, you can see Tom moving across, anxious to see how he got the white past the yellow and behind it. These kind of safety shots, not a lot of pressure on them with the black over the right corner, playing from this side.
Yeah, it's top work, that, isn't it? Quality. Has he given Tom a look at it? Potential shot to nothing. It's always dangerous with the black over the corner, isn't it? Jealously guard and jealously defend.
Yeah, that's why on the previous shot I thought he would have played even the other outside red to guarantee he would leave the white on that side.
Foul and the miss.
Yeah, even that
Zhang
shot to nothing for
fault.
Tom was too risky to collide into other balls. And no harm done, only 4 points. Gets another shot at it. I think if he wasn't hampered queuing, he would go for that red. We're presuming he has the able to get at the potting angle.
Yeah, see, this is where I think, I mean, the rules are the rules. I think the players should be allowed to touch the cue ball and just say, look, that's where it was.
Yeah, absolutely. Put it exactly where it was.
Yeah, it saves any.
You have to tell the referee 5 times. You'd only have to show them once.
Exactly. Yeah, it's common sense is what it is. It was there. That's where it was. My mate sitting in the chair will trust me. Believe me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so same shot again. Oh, very good. That's excellent. Yeah, some rules are a bit quirky, aren't they? A bit unusual. It's no fault of the referee, actually. They're only following the directive that they're given. But that is one, isn't it? You know, do you want me to show you where it is? That's where it was. You know, it just saves a bit of time. It's common sense.
Yeah, exactly. It's going to be more accurate if the player shows. Plus, it's also saving time.
I mean, there was a silly story way back in the day, wasn't there? And I know the player, I won't mention him, but he was a similar situation like that, and you couldn't touch the cue ball as a player. You can't touch it. And the referee said, "Well, where was the cue ball? No, show me." He said, "Well, no." No, the ref said, "No, show me." And he picked up the white, and the referee called a foul.
Yeah, he slammed the cue down. Office now.
Yeah, almost the referee coerced him into fouling. Nice game.
Yeah, conned by the referee. But both players anxious to try and get the white now over to that side of the table. So there's always the possibility in playing a safety, you might push a red over to the left corner, whereas if you're on the other side of the table and push a red close to the right corner, obviously it's no problem with the black covering it. Yeah, just managed to catch it thin enough. Zhang played quite a decent safety shot, you would say, but still just left enough of that red for Tom to be able to play as a shot to nothing in a very good pot. Now, of course, from the black over the pocket, just having a look to see where exactly he'd like to hit. I think you just hit it as hard as you can, get it over there and try and disturb them as best you can. Not a time really to be too precise, I don't think. Just hit it hard, go into them. That seemed to happen a lot when you put black over the pocket. You feel sure you're just going to pot it and smash the reds everywhere, and the amount of times you either catch it too thin, or in that case, not so much even too thick, but that top spin that Tom had on it. Slight banana on the cue ball and somehow missed all the reds.
Yeah, it's incredible that he didn't make contact. Now he has a choice of a couple. The one dead weight to left middle's a dicey one, isn't it? You can never quite be sure if the red's going to turn in a fraction or indeed go up the way. Able to play it with a wee bit of pace. Oh, terrific pot. Very good, but was it worth it? Can you even play that cut black? I think it's just a bit thin. It's not a shot you would ever play. Pink's no good either.
Yeah, you just get his sense that he's reluctant to play a safety shot. Wants to just try and stay at the table. But even if he rolls the pink in dead weight, going away from the red, his next red pot and position will be very difficult.
Yes, it might just be medicine time. I'm thinking of a big match recently. I know it wasn't a final, it was a semi-final. Jack Lazowski and Chris Wakeland out there in Belfast. Jack pushed the boat out and it read along the end cushion at 1-1 or 2-1 early doors and didn't recover from it. Sometimes you just got to play what's in front of you.
I'd like to see that again. Yeah, we both think that maybe just clipped it.
Yeah, as far as red first, I'm not sure. Let's hope we get a replay. I mean, not that... You see it? No, I think it was okay. I thought it was...
no, I was the same, but...
Yeah, of course, Tom wouldn't have known about it. But no, all fine and well. But yeah, it shows you that he's itching to sort of try and be aggressive where he can, but the match is kind of stagnated just for the moment. Been a bit scrappy.
We've seen that replay there. Danger of doing Tom at a service.
Tom Ford.
Yeah, because I don't think he wouldn't have known that it was one of those ones. But no, it was no problem.
Yeah, I think his more reaction was I don't think he went for the pot and he couldn't believe he had potted it.
Yeah. Just got a query actually from Steve, just asking what the rankings will be for both players, win or lose. Just quickly, Tom Ford is 15 at the moment. He'd go to 10th with a win. Zhang Anda is 22nd at the moment and would go to 15th with a win. Yeah, that was a poor one. Should have been on the end cushion with a cue ball.
Yeah, Zhang got punished there for not leaving the white on the cushion. Well struck pot from Tom. Pink spot taken, so the pink will actually go on the brown spot. When he's played that very well. Straight away he's got perfect onto that red right beside the black. Now in prime position. You'd fully expect Tom, the way he's been playing all week, to win the frame from here.
Yeah, the breaks have dried up the last frame and a half, but this is a good chance, isn't it? For Tom to press on.
24. $29. $30.
Well, it was hard to pick a winner of this match. I think most people probably have the opinion that it will go close. It's hard to see one player running away from the other. They're so evenly matched. Again, both playing so well.
38.
Yes, a red, black, and one more red. Get back in level terms.
46.
It'll be for the third time. 1-all, 2-all. It's looking like threes.
And to be fair to both players, considering this day could change
53.
their careers, maybe even define their careers. Certainly that there's no sign of that from either player.
54.
Okay, black stays out. 52 to the good. Yeah, Zhang just having a little perusal of the scoreboard there, just to have a look at the table as well and think, is it worth it? I think that's good stuff, that. A lot of players can sort of dive in and say, oh, the scoreboard, yeah, that's enough, and then you can't change your mind. Once you declare it, it's done. So worth playing on.
I think he thought where the last red would be. If you put the black nicely on the red, you're guaranteed a snooker behind the black and potentially push it down the table. But Tom will be anxious just to get this frame won. Doesn't want to waste too much time or energy.
Yeah, I like this play though. Just get that red up table away from behind the black spot where it's potentially dangerous. That's a good play, that.
Yeah, he might even concede nearly in doing that.
Part of the learning process as a player, of course. Tom's been around for 22 years, and 22 and a half years almost as a professional. You've got to sense danger that might be further down the line, don't you? And that should be a concession now. Yes, indeed it is. So Tom Ford has played quite nicely in that frame, under a wee bit of pressure at 3-2, but that was a terrific contribution to get himself back in level terms. It's 3 frames apiece. Yeah, Tom, you were just saying, Fergal, off air, that he has quite cold hands generally. You just noticed there that perhaps his little heaters that he takes out with him.
Yeah, you can see in both his hands there, his little, I suppose it might be heated pads as such, because again, you see sometimes players take in like a hot drink into the arena. Not necessarily they need the drink, it's more just to warm their hands up. And something he mentioned the other day, you just see him there, like just holding them. Again, very difficult to play snooker if your hands are that cold.
Yeah, you get players with bad circulation, all that sort of stuff, so perhaps Tom being one. Actually, one of the Scottish players, of course, that wears a glove all the time, Ross Muir, he's kind of the other way, you know,
Yes.
Perspiration, and obviously needs the glove. But did you ever play with a glove in Asia or anywhere, or?
I think I might have played half a match with the glove on in China. It was that sticky. Generally, it didn't suffer with that too much.
Yeah. Because generally the farther south you go, it gets a bit stickier, doesn't it? I'm thinking down in Guangzhou and obviously Hong Kong and Hainan Island. And actually where Zhang is from, in the kind of southeast of China, down near Guangdong, where I've been. Did you go to that one? Was it Guangdong?
No, I didn't go that one there.
Yeah.
Mustn't have qualified. But funny, even though I played a few frames, I was very self-conscious of having the glove on. It seemed like it was a big deal. It seemed when you put it on, everybody could notice you were wearing a glove. Now, mostly, certainly in recent events, the stigma in wearing a glove, if it's not quite gone, it's certainly going. But I suppose if your hands are very sticky and it has to be done, it has to be done.
Frame second. Zhang to break.
Yeah, so welcome back. We're 6 frames into the final of this international championship, and it's perfectly poised. It's 3 frames all. If you're just joining us in and around Europe, it's obviously still morning time. The big news is that Zhang Anda had a maximum break in frame 3. It's been an excellent final so far. You could make a case for both players this evening. I don't think we're any closer to knowing who's going to be stood there in about 5 or 6 hours time with the trophy held aloft. But what we are doing is enjoying the journey, and so is Tom Ford. If he knocks in reds like that, unfortunately positionally it's just gone wrong.
Yeah, you can see by Tom's reaction there, he feels he got a big bounce off the cushion there. Just to settle for a safety shot here.
Brown.
Yeah, looking at the brown, and ideally try and get the white in line behind the yellow. Just block off that side of the pack.
Tom Ford 1.
Getting behind the green does the same job on the other side. quite careless there to have left a red. Always a lot harder to judge the pace when you're rolling into the pack as opposed to coming off the cushion. Again, by Tom's reaction there. He's not on the black. Is he on the pink? Again. Tom always one for wearing his heart in his sleeve. You know, by his reaction, whether or not he's on balls. Again, consider it was such an easy red, even though it was with the spider. Should have made sure he was on a colour, particularly the black.
Tom for 1.
Could be tempted to try and come around a couple of angles and get close to the green, but in doing that, runs the risk of pushing your red close to the right corner. Neither player would be pleased to see the black being tied up, but Tom could possibly play safety shot off the red beside it, which would bring the black into play. Again, a good safety there from Tom, swinging it around the angles.
Yeah, most players are so accomplished these days at playing safety shots, all manner of shots tactically as well. You have to be. Gone are the days where you can just be aggressive and frighten people into submission. You can't do that anymore. Got to know how to defend, when to do it.
Yeah, that excellent safety from Tom's given Zhang plenty to think about. There's the potential of playing two cushions and a glance on the red to the right, but it's difficult. has had to go
foul and miss.
2 cushions and glance
4-4.
on the left. Again, more often than not, players playing that. Certainly the first go missed the red altogether. It's just that fear of catching it too thick and leaving your opponent in. Probably might get a bit closer this time. Managed to catch it thin enough to get away and get up the table. Tom left a long straight red as he just came to have a look at the potential if he went for it, what exactly he would be leaving. Again, he could make a strong case for playing a safety shot.
Yeah, I think he might have an outside chance of a plant to right corner. Or it might be the one below it, the single red. Either way, he's playing a pot of some description. Plant it was, in it goes. Needs a good kiss on the yellow.
Ironic thumbs up. It was unfortunate there. It was a good spot, well played. I'm sure when he's seen it go in, he fully expected to be nicely on. Choice of 4 colours potentially.
Yeah, sometimes actually the best position for the cue ball is in the middle of the baulk cushion. I think this is one of these occasions. Playing the drop in, dead weight behind the yellow. Difficult shot that in such a quick cloth. It's like rolling it down the bathtub. You can't get it to stop, you feel. Yeah, made a good job of it, but he looks like he does have the half ball return to baulk. Yeah, last couple of shots. Zhang's getting the better of the running.
Yeah, good safety shot there from Thomas. Anxious. Keep it over that side. Try and block that side of the pack with potentially the blue and pink. Zhang will be looking to play a similar kind of shot and leave the white close to where it is now. Just trying to judge the contact on this red and where that red will go.
Yeah, so this time Tom has got some sort of reward with a possible pot. Looks like he's eyeing up the one that's the sort of most direct one. The one nearest the pocket, the one that'll go. As long as he gets the pot. Oh, when the phone goes off again, please just switch them off.
请大家再次检查自己的手机，调成静音，谢谢。
Sound like somebody's alarm there on the phone. Again, it doesn't make this pot any more easier. Actually, maybe the delay's given time to rethink. Doesn't seem as keen to play this red now.
Yeah, back to plan A. Got to get the pot. Yeah, well done. Very nicely done. Okay, he's still got the pink and he will play it. Hoping for something a wee bit easier, but been one of those passages of play, this frame. Been hard fought the early stages of it. When you get your chance, it feels like there's a bit more pressure on it than perhaps there is generally, because you put so much work into it. Yeah, that'll do nicely. Or will it? As they cut back on. No, it's not. And the plant is ultra thin. It's the plant. It's one of those who's got a choice of 5 colours, but none of them are easy.
Yeah, a little bit frustrated there, Tom. I think he felt again, potting that plant, he was going to have something a lot nicer. Choice of 5, none of them are nice.
Yeah, he's frustrated. He, as you say, he potted 2 or 3 really good shots, and eventually was faced with quite a nasty one, the black. When you're playing it with topspin, you're not in complete control of the stroke, aren't you? And half ball, quite an unusual shot, not on its spot. And then what you leave, you think, oh, I'm going to be sitting in my chair for 6 or 7 minutes while he mops up.
8.
The last few frames, the pace of play has slowed down. Not necessarily the players taking longer on shots, more just balls have been a lot scrappier. They've been dictated by where the balls have been. Haven't been ideal. The blacks been tented tied up. But certainly an opportunity here for Zhang to re-establish a nice rhythm.
31.
And tonight, when it gets to the business end, it'll be interesting to see the players remain as positive and decisive as they have been, not just today, but throughout the tournament.
22.
Just get a sense today that he's just jockeying for position, waiting for a final push tonight.
Yeah, but I think of the two, it's clear that Zhang is more Teflon-like, isn't it? Difficult to strike a blow on him and make it stick. He just seems to be able to get on with it, regardless of
30.
what's going on at present or in the past. He just sort of ploughs on in his way. Going along nicely here. Plenty of reds in the open to get this frame won.
36.
Now, we should get the full quota of 9 frames in this session. 6 minutes short of 3 hours until the evening session gets underway. So barring, you would think, barring a very lengthy 8th frame, we should be okay in that front. Now then, I wonder if he wants to play some sort of little cannon here on perhaps the brown. Just play the cue ball up near the red in the middle of the table and hope to be on it.
Very surprising miss there. It was close enough to the side cushion. As you said, a big margin for error. Might have been guilty of slightly overthinking it. It seemed just pot of pink, get up the table. Then wherever the whites landed, you'll have some sort of a shot.
Yeah, and overplaying it, he didn't have to go that deep, did he, on the cue ball and make the pot a wee bit more difficult anyway. It's a mistake and gives Tom the reprieve.
Uncharacteristic from, because generally he's kept it quite simple.
Yeah, just at the minute, Tom can't lay the cue ball on something dead simple. Constantly having to work.
Tried to play that cannon on the brown you were talking about that Zhang could have played. Again, a bit unfortunate with the glance, but again, not on a red. But certainly from the first red he played, even with the rest, he should have had something easier than what he left himself with. Again, just important for Tom here just to remain calm, not get too frustrated, not get too in on himself. Made 1 or 2 little mistakes and been quite unlucky. This frame has just descended into a little mini game of who pots the next red.
Yeah, that's of more pressing importance that Tom gets the next red, of course, and it's a half chance for Zhang. Handy lead of 18. Yeah, good pot. He's still on the brown quite nicely, actually. I think you called that correctly earlier, Fergal. One of his great assets is those top spin shots from baulk, isn't it? Around straight or half ball. Very consistent in that area.
Yeah, you're very surprised if he misses any of those kind of shots. And they're not easy either.
5.
Again, playing this red would like to leave himself that angle on the black, just to stun over. Doesn't have to play a cannon on the red. I think there's enough room behind. Just about went in, but certainly doesn't cue as well with the rest as he does without it. Even looked as he was taking it back, it seemed to come fractionally offline there.
Yeah, so it appears, barring a deep screw in twice across the table, he can't get nice and close to the red. Have to try and force it, and that's no good. He's not, as we know, he's not a power broker or a player. It was a lot of players. Judd Trump, of course, springs to mind, would have been able to force that cue ball in behind there. So 31 in front. Just battering down the hatches here, just slip off the red. Looking for brown ball cover, but he hasn't got it.
Very good safety shot there from Tom. It would have been very easy to leave the red on for Zhang. And another little mini game. Who puts this red? Anxious to get across to see, did he leave it? Is the brown blocking? I think if you can see enough, I think it's still enough there. You can just thin clip it in. A gentle little swerve. Tracer right hand side, should just be able to get around. Clip it back. And you can see the side take effect there. Played it well, and of course if he plays the brown, which he's on, he can win. 26 behind, 26 on the table with this brown.
Yeah, I've seen more than
5.
a few big moments in this final so far. Is this going to be another one? This would be a blow. Played that lovely. So it's all about brown to blue. Not all about brown to blue, but that's going to be the key. You wouldn't mind, it's one of those, you wouldn't mind a mid-distance pink anywhere on or around straight. But brown to blue is the key shot coming up. Yeah, so anything on or around straight on the blue would be good. Oh, he's played this nicely.
14.
Yeah, the maximum, of course, was a huge moment, a huge occasion in this final, but here's another coming right up. This pink. And you would think he's going to be on the black, Tom Ford. Biggest shot of the final so far, this. To steal a frame that it didn't look like could happen a few minutes ago. And it goes. And he's nicely on the black, so Tom Ford has held firm here. Just the black then. And Tom Ford is back in front. He won a frame that he'd no right to win, in all honesty. Cut the red to middle and did the rest. So Tom Ford is back in front. This final is hotting up. He leads 4 frames to 3. Yeah, so unfortunately we have to leave our main coverage on Eurosport, but you can continue watching this final, of course, for the moment, the last couple of frames to come of this session. You can continue watching on Discovery Plus. So thank you for your company, but for now, on the main channel, and of course we will be back at 11:30 UK time. Neil and Dave will be guiding you through that on the main channel, but for now we'll bid you goodbye, but you can continue watching on Discovery Plus. Yeah, so Zhang Anda, having just left the auditorium, taking a time out after the disappointment of losing what might turn out to be a crucial frame 7. Strange, isn't it? All the excitement of a couple of hours ago and the maximum in frame 3 is kind of gone now.
Yeah, it seems a long time ago.
Frame 8. Tom Ford to break.
Yeah, so welcome back. Deep into the first session of this final. Best of 19, of course. First to 10 to lift the beautiful trophy for the International Championship later on this evening. Players will be back in about 2 hours and 10 minutes. Yeah, good pot. Sorry, make that 2 hours and 40 minutes. They're back at 11:30 UK time.
Yeah, always frustrating that when you win a frame that maybe you shouldn't have won, and then from your very first shot, the break off, you've left your opponent straight back in. Yeah, good shot there. Straight away want to get this on this red. Free up the path for the black.
4.
Not for the first time today, he has that red at the bottom of the pack that if he can get low on, he can pot and disturb the rest of them. Certainly since the until the frames have slowed down a piece, generally been dictated by the balls, but both players will be keen just to get back in amongst them.
12.
It's hard to believe he could find that gap through those two reds. He felt he had to clip one of them beyond the other red.
Yeah, it's about as much emotion as you ever get from Zhang and it. Still be living that disappointment of the previous frame, I guess.
Zhang 19.
Yeah, knew him playing that he was going to be pushing reds close to the right corner. As a result, it became imperative that he didn't hit a ball colour.
1.
Yeah, Tom playing that red with a trace of right hand side just to avoid the pack. Wasn't able to avoid the blue. Wasn't the best of kisses he got on either. But he has the green if he can try and stun around for the red on the right hand side of the table.
Yeah, just looking at the clock, we're 2 hours and 35 minutes from the evening session starting. I think we should be okay to get another frame in after this. Don't know if there's a definite plan or a definite number as far as stopping play and giving the players and indeed the audience here a break. And go away and get some food and whatever and come back fresh. Should be okay. Oh, Tom just trying to pinch the pocket. Yeah, he just tried to steal a wee bit too much.
Yeah, looking for an angle that wasn't there. The way the match has gone, the so evenly match, I think we just presumed that it's just going to be 5-4 to one player, and so be it. But of course, Tom is in the position where he could take a good lead. So both of them, for different reasons, be anxious to win this frame. Of course, if Tom wins this frame 5-3 up, guaranteed a lead tonight with the potential of 6-3. Also, if Zhang doesn't win this frame, he'll be behind going into this evening.
Eight.
As a player here, Alan, would you rather finish the 9 frames? Or would you rather just finish after this frame and have a longer gap between?
Yeah, it's a good question, Fergal, isn't it? I mean, I'm kind of one of those discretion things. I think if it goes 4-all, I would say, right, okay, let's just sort of cut the losses, and if it
Seems
goes
like
5-3, then you feel like you should give the guy a chance to get to 5-4.
Yeah, 4-all has a natural end, feels like a natural ending.
Yeah, I mean, it's difficult, isn't it? As I say, we're okay for time right now. Still 2.5 hours.
I suppose it depends as well, players, how far away from the venue they are. What's the travel involved?
Yeah.
Ideally, you'd like to get back to the hotel, have some tea, get changed, and come back.
Yeah. Yeah, it's have some food, which obviously you have to order, and you have to obviously have your lunch or whatever. Yeah, now here's a chance now for Zhang, and have your lunch. And you know, I certainly was a player like to have another shower or whatever it is, and get a fresh shirt on, and
yeah, absolutely.
you know, that all takes a wee bit of time, and book a courtesy car back to the venue anyway. We'll find out at the tail end of this frame, but we should be okay. Now, big shot, Zhang. Yeah, middled. Good shot. Not absolutely perfect on a colour. It's been like this the last few frames, isn't it? Players are scrapping to get into ideal position. Just quickly, what about yourself, Fergal? Would you...
No, certainly if you went 4-all, I'd want to stop it there. I'd rather have that longer break.
Yeah.
Because again, bearing in mind tonight, there's every chance it's going to be a late night, long night. All just seems like a natural conclusion. Again, I would say they will play a 9th frame here. Not really running out of time here. But it's set up beautifully for tonight. Yeah, should have made sure he had an angle on the blue to come back down for the reds. Looked like he'd finally get in perfect position. It's looking like a great chance, and all of a sudden, looks like could be end of break. Couple of options here. Obviously, two reds beside each other. Potential for a plant, but very risky. And also, if he screws back a bit further than where the white is now, getting past the pink and playing the red more or less on the pink spot. There's a more difficult, braver pot. One of those, just as you get on the table, you realise the stretch involved. It's not so comfortable. You feel like you not only will you maybe fall off, but also it just feels that you're compromising the delivery of the cue. Another good pot. It's noticeable as well with those kind of tricky pots, you would call them. They seem to just go in the centre of the pocket, never touch the sides.
Yeah, Zhang quite in his rights there to ask the referee to respot the pink. Tight that, isn't it? See, the thing about having to swerve it, if he has to swerve it, then his cue ball's compromised severely.
Yeah, that little trace of left-hand side just to turn it over. Best he could hope for is probably like a long, straight blue. He obviously had a lot more of it than we thought there. Looked like it was very fine at first glance. Had the natural potting angle. That can be a bit frustrating if you're in your chair looking at your opponent. You're looking for the body language, you're looking for a sign, whether he's perfect or whether it's a little bit awkward. And then when you get your hopes up and think it's a little bit awkward and they just bend down and pot it. Always frustrating.
Yeah. Yeah, he came round and had a look to see if the black would go there. I'm sure he must have had a look previous to... You want to know these things, but... Yeah, he cued that lovely, actually. It's one of the best shots he's played in a while. Didn't look like it, but... That should lay the foundation to be all square again. Yeah, so this red coming up, and we will be back all squares. Good character this, shown by Zhang.
35.
The game has stagnated somewhat the last couple of frames. It's been difficult to find rhythm, so it's nice to get a telling contribution. As I say, we do expect to play the last of the session. Let's hope so. Again, just to reiterate, first to 10 this evening will win all the marbles.
51.
Yeah, can't make a century, but it's his third 50-plus break of the match. Of course, one of them was a 147 in frame 3.
59. 60.
It's going to be hard fought this evening, isn't it? Regardless of what happens. I don't think this is going to be a 10-5 or a 10-6 somehow.
No, they're very evenly matched. As you feel at some point the importance of the match, the significance of what's at stake, not just for today, but the rest of their season, maybe even careers. That will have some impact on them.
71.
Doesn't have to. We just feel that it will happen.
75.
There just isn't that guarantee
80.
that when the players get their chances to win tonight, that they'll definitely take them. Still a new experience for them. That makes it more appealing to watch.
86.
Yeah, foul in the end by Zhang, but that was just in the nick of time and just what he needed, because the brakes had dried up for quite some time since that maximum in frame 3. It's all square again for the 4th time. 4 frames apiece. So, good news is we are indeed going to get that last frame of the session. Just to remind that 11:30 UK time, the evening session will get underway, which is 2 hours and 22 minutes from now.
It's amazing with these two players, obviously quite experienced. Never actually met before. You'd have felt sure they'd have played at least once, maybe even a few times.
Yeah, it's one of those in maybe a few years' time. You say, remember we played each other the first time? You won't forget this one, will you? The big final.
Absolutely, yeah. Great for them and worked hard for it. They've paid their dues over the years. All the tournaments they would have entered and the heartbreak, all the travelling they've done. It's a great day for them. I think that's important tonight. Treating tonight as a privilege rather than a pressure. I know from experience, the only thing worse than losing a final is watching somebody else lose a final. You get the day. You don't know how it's going to end, but I think it's important to enjoy every bit of it.
Yeah, it's not always easy to enjoy these sort of occasions because you're laser focused on one thing, aren't you? The winning.
Yeah, you tend to think it was a great day if I won and it was a terrible day if I lost, but up until that result, the experience has still been the same, just as best you can enjoy it, because
Yeah.
they won't last forever these days, trust me.
Yeah. That's nicely poised then, isn't it? 4 frames all, or a bit of everything maximum if you're just joining us. In frame 3 by Zhang. 1 to go of the session.
Frame 9. Zhang
Who's going to hold sway? We're about to find out. Yeah, so welcome back to the final frame of the crucial opening session of the International Championship final. If you're just joining us, it's been a pulsating final, actually. Very entertaining and hard fought. Bit of everything. Maximum break in frame 3 by Zhang. Never more than a frame in it. It's been 1-all, 2-all, 3-all. And of course where we are now. Last of the session.
He obviously played in such a way, not only to be on the black, but you feel it's the only red you can leave. But it's amazing the amount of times the only red you can leave, you do leave.
请现场观众都配合一下，把
And
手
just
机调静
a few
音。
more disturbances
谢
with
谢
the
大
phone.
家。One。请自己都检查一下自己的手机好吗？谢谢。
Yeah, it's a shame, isn't it? People just cannot do without their phones these days. Don't know what the attraction is myself, but anyway.
Those distractions can't just affect your concentration, also your rhythm. It's noticeable there as well. Didn't seem to be flicking his eyes much to the white ball. Seemed just totally obsessed with the object ball. Definitely as he strikes the white, his eyes are on the object ball. I'm actually amazed there's players, and great players, and as they strike the white, they're looking at the white. I have to be obsessed with the object ball. Blows my mind that they're potting balls that they're not even looking at.
Yeah, that is, yeah, I'm the same. Yeah, I was object ball, yeah. But yeah, there are some that are cue ball, which is strange to me also. Yeah, good pot, and just about kept the cue ball away from the side cushion.
Yeah, and playing that shot, there's always that fear of getting stuck. Just ran a little bit close to the cushion that he would have liked.
Yeah, just short of pace. I'm just thinking you'd be hard pressed if someone asked you, well, I suppose I might as well see them, who deserves to be in front at the end of the session?
I feel Zhang has played slightly better. And again, in the event of a tie, you'd have to give it to the guy who's at 147.
Yeah, that's a fair comment.
I think there's definitely positives for both players, even if Zhang does end up winning 5-4. Tom hasn't played bad, but he definitely play a lot better.
Isn't it funny? I was just thinking about, of course, when we get to the Crucible in whatever it is, 5 months' time or whatever, and you first to 10, the first round there. When it's 4 each and you play the last frame, it doesn't seem all that important, doesn't it? The one to go 5. But when it's 3 each, frame 7 feels like massively important.
Yeah, I was thinking that myself. Just look, let's just get this out of the way. It doesn't really matter who's 5-4.
Yeah, one of us will be 5-4 up
and I'll see you
anyway.
back tonight. Yeah, yeah, no,
Strange, isn't it?
yeah.
And yet when it's 3 all, this frame 7's massive. Yeah, but it is a big frame. I know they all count the same. It's just some feel more important than others for whatever reason. Yeah, a good pot that. And
Yeah, if you went 6-4 down, then you'd really realise the importance of that 9th frame that you lost.
27. 28.
Yeah, I definitely feel Zhang has played a little bit better, a little bit more clinical. And certainly if you're in with Tom, to be saying to him, look, you haven't played well, only one frame down, all to play for. As things after 9 frames, somebody has to be leading, so probably right enough not to give it too much significance.
Yes, at no stage does it feel like Tom's had a maybe 20-minute episode of the match where he's had freedom and just going and playing and scoring. He's kind of been under the cosh a bit more than Zhang has, it feels like.
36.
Yeah, and on the positive side, you might be thinking that's still to come. That 3-frame burst that he had won against Hawkins, and certainly towards the end against Jordan Brown. But I think the fact that it is more or less uncharted territory for both players just adds to the excitement. As I said before, it's easy to get caught into the trap of wanting the top 8 players playing each other in the final, but this level of uncertainty, I think you can just identify with the players a little bit more, what they're going to be going through, the challenges involved. Again, just needs a good cannon here in the reds. Plays that kind of shot very, very well. Seems to judge the pace of the cannon very well, and also never seems to miss the pot on the black either.
Yeah, whatever happens at the end of this session, it's not going to be decisive, as we know. Zhang Anda led 6-2 against Judd Trump. The English Open final 5 weeks exactly ago. Just got to play one good positional shot here. Yeah, played it lovely. So plenty of reds in the Open. Yeah, I think I tend to agree. Zhang Anda maybe would justify the odd frame lead, but nothing much in it. He's not there yet, though. Still got to pot this pink. Far corner in some ways is the easier pot. The little nervy one cut back to middle is quite tricky. But you would favour the middle pocket. If this goes in, he should close 5-4 in front.
Perfect on the blue now. Fully expect him to win this frame. And of course, he can go on and make another century. First century made today wasn't too bad.
70.
Yeah, to say the least, the maximum in frame 3. But yeah, at the outset of this final, both players would have been looking for a session advantage, and it's going to be Zhang Anda then with that slender lead. 5 frames to 4, all to play for this evening, though. They will be back, and Just over 2 hours time, so
79.
it's set up nicely. Let's hope we can close with another century.
He's very efficient in amongst the balls. There's never any big drama with him.
87.
Usually in perfect position, but if he drifts from perfect position, never makes a big deal of it, just get on with the next shot.
Yeah, nice cannon now. Does it go underneath the blue there, the red? Let's hope so. No problem at all, Zhang. And for his next trick, it's the long pink. Don't let us down now. For the century. No problem at all. Zhang finishing in style. Oh, it's easy getting this, isn't it?
The putt was a certainty, just could he nudge the green over the puck? It's the tricky bit.
Oh dear, that's awful. No, it's not. A brilliant session of snooker comes to a close then. The International Championship final is well and truly underway, and it's everything we thought it would be and more. A maximum in frame 3 by Zhang to boot. Lots to look forward to, of course, this evening when they return in just over 2 hours' time. Yeah, so an entertaining and enthralling and captivating session. Has been a fantastic opening session, and we're in for more of the same, of course. Tonight they come back. First to 10 will be the target, and it's been, as I say, everything we wanted it to be. Someone is tonight going to win their maiden ranking event. We don't know who it's going to be, but what we do know, it's going to be entertaining. Maximums, centuries, frames won on the black. We've had it all. But stay tuned later, in just over 2 hours' time, in fact, 11:30 in the UK time. Neil and David will be here to guide you through the rest of the big final. We'll look forward to your company then, but for now, from myself and Fergal O'Brien, it's goodbye.